Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Starseed Academy. These are the Saturday groups, the Pleiadian gatherings, and um, Pleiadian channeling and weekly gatherings. Today's date is the 25th of April, 2026, and it is 7:58 p.m. here in Ireland. Please, everyone, forgive me for my delay this evening. Um, the energies are I'm finding the energies are kind of off the scale at the moment. Um, and I would like to honor David Wilcox. Um, and we did a recent um, recording on it with the group, and I haven't shared that yet, but I will. Um, and you can check that out on Substack, Soma Ara. Um, I haven't done any channeling on David Wilcox. I've kind of stayed away from it. I do like to observe things sometimes for a while. If it's a big thing, if it's a big deal, I like to stand back a bit and just observe what's going on. But my initial reaction, my initial really strong gut reaction is that David is one of two options I see there is that he is either still alive or he was targeted and taken out. I do not believe that. I don't believe that he did that. I don't believe it at all. And maybe I will change my mind in the future. Um, I would like to let other people share if they have anything to say about their feelings or thoughts on it or impressions. And I know that Dennis Dennis, go ahead, darling. Say what you please.
I'm just going to do the prayers. Ready for that?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to begin with prayer, the law of one. And after saying it, I will repeat it. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. And a short I am mantra. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. I
Oh,
am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. Okay, thank you.
Let us begin. We're delighted to be here with you this evening. There has been an increase of technology being used in a negative way to disarm you energetically, to, in Soma's words, to drag the rugs from under your feet, and in our words, to disempower you, to disarm you on an energetic level. There is now an increase of technology being used in a negative way by negative forces against those that are good, those that are of the light, those that are of a different ilk, those that are of a different DNA, a different energy, a different frequency, a different understanding. But the dark is leaving your planet. The dark forces, the dark agenda, the dark elites. And they are going, in Soma's words, with a bang. July is an important month this year, which we've said for quite some time. The 6 months is also important. April, May, June, July are important months on your planet this year. It is crucial. Soma was talking earlier, and we were reminding her that it is crucial that at this time that you become more grounded and spend more time in nature. There are those in this group that are tuning into this and picking up on this information, that it is more important now than ever to become grounded and spend time in nature, because as you move forward into the ascension process, your bodies are changing. And the dark agendas on your planet are trying to pull you back using technology in a negative way. And you are caught in between this pull forward into a higher state of being and this pull backwards using technology in a negative way. And the way that we won't say the only way, but the best way for you to navigate this pull in both directions is to center yourself and ground your energies into your Mother Earth, to stand on the soil in bare feet. It is crucial to do this in these days in order for you to balance your energies as you move forward. Let's see. There are things that are, there has been an increase in technology, and there are things that are raining down from your skies that are more advanced than they were a few years ago even. Grounding is a way for you to really keep your physical vessels, your bodies clean, energetically. The earth, the energy that comes up from the earth when you stand on it will help to clear some of these energies. We will go more into this at a later date or a future time. And we have said before that we will, thank you, that we will be doing, sharing information to you in these transmissions regarding the codes that we have put into your chakra system that we did not do, or you did not have at the time of the downfall of Atlantis. You did not have these codes. That was an oversight on our part and others, such as Lyran and other beings that are positive. But these codes are essential, and we will share them at a later date. There are things that we have said that Soma will be doing in the future. And she had thought that she would be doing them by now. And she has done them, some of them, behind the scenes or off camera in her personal life. But sometimes things take longer than you anticipate. Now would be a good time for questions.
What might be some of the symptoms or effects of the negative technology that's being used right now?
Feeling tired, feeling low energy, feeling fed up, feeling down, feeling confused, feeling irritated, feeling angry, feeling distressed, feeling overwhelmed, a feeling of out of sorts, a feeling of disharmony, a feeling of annoyance.
A quick follow-up. Are we more vulnerable or susceptible to those technologies when we're traveling or flying? I just feel like this year, every time I travel or fly, and then once I come home, I'm super tired and sometimes sick. So I wasn't sure if that was related to this.
Flying is an interesting one because Soma can use this as she has experienced some, we'll use the word spiritual experiences, but it's rather energetically when she flies, she becomes very ungrounded to the point she has to sometimes hold on to something physical to stop her leaving her body because there is no cord within her system when she is thousands of miles in the sky. So we would say for you that it is important for you to ground before you go on to flight. And this is, she just feels it more in the extreme, but you all have this. You all have this ungroundedness when you are flying. She has always wanted to experience things in the extreme, which is one of the reasons why she's had so much abuse, because she is a slow learner and therefore wants to experience things in extremities so that she really gets it and understands it. She doesn't do well when things come along and are gentle or blasé or a little bit. She likes to do extremities in any areas. But let us get back to you. Sometimes there's a combination of things going on here. So traveling can be exhausting for starseeds, especially flying, because the body becomes much lighter. Which you would think would give you more energy. For you, you are picking up some germs from the water that you are drinking when you are in other places, or germs that are slightly different in other places. And these are not causing you harm in the extreme, but they are affecting you somewhat. So we would recommend that you do, some kind of detox when you come back, and grounding, and care for your physical body and care for yourself. Take a few days rest when you come back.
Thank you.
You're also picking up on different energies. Different air, different water, different environment, different people, all which do vary from place to place. And when you are exposed to something that is slightly toxic in a different way, it affects you in a slightly different way. You are becoming resilient to the toxins, the poisons, the pesticides where you live. And this is for everyone, because the physical vessel, the human body, is adaptable. That's what the human body is designed, engineered to be adaptable to its environments, to it's designed to survive whatever happens within it. So toxins, poisons, pharmaceuticals, chemtrails. The human body will adapt and survive those things within its local environment. But when you take it off to somewhere else and somewhere else and somewhere else, it is adapting to, or trying to adapt to, a new variation of germs, of poisons, of air, of because slightly different variations are being used in different areas. Rest more, detox more when you come back, drink more water.
Okay, thank you so much.
Your stomach needs to be, we feel that we're showing soma images, and we feel that your stomach needs to be calmed down. There's like a pulsating or a vibrating energy within your stomach that would benefit from being soothed, either through you placing your hands on your stomach and or gentle food, chamomile tea, or gentle food like that. The opposite of gentle food would be an aggravating. This may sound funny to some people, but there are such things as gentle foods. A gentle food would be chamomile tea. An aggravating food would be something like a hot Indian curry, which would aggravate your system.
Okay, I understand. Thank you so much.
Amira, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I have one question. I'm always dreaming that I'm flying, that I'm flying to get away from something or whatever, but it's on Earth. Another one is I have dreams where I'm back in my childhood home, but in a different reality, or I'm somewhere where I used to be. I keep having those dreams. But how do I know if I asked your traveler, like what if you go to sleep and you don't remember? You wake up, you don't remember a dream or anything. What does all of that mean? And then how do you detox your body? So, like, did I astral project or whatever when I didn't dream, or like, how do you know? Thank you.
Can you repeat that? We heard several questions within that.
Oh, so okay, let's just say, okay, I'll put it simple, simple. Whether you have dreams or not, or you wake up and you don't remember what you dreamt about, does that still mean you still astral traveling or doing something on the astral bigger level, even if you don't remember? Because and how do you know you astral traveled, and then how do you detox?
We find your question amusing, and we do not mean that in a derogatory way. We find your perspective and the way you look at things interesting, and we have been observing you for quite some time. We are visiting you in the astral plane. you, Amira, like everyone, are here to an aspect of you being on Earth is for you to learn, is for you to become self-empowered, is for you to observe, is for you to become more self-empowered, is for you to become more knowledgeable of what reality really is. Selma's laughing because we're showing her the word reality or real ET, REALETY. Let us take away the Y. So we're showing an example of how your English language has been changed. Human ET, real ET, or reality, or ridicule us, or ridiculous, or ridicule us. Those are very good examples of how your language has been changed. But we are veering off the subject, but your astral plane is one reality of a higher dimension, if you want to call it that. You are asleep, and yet it is a very real place. In terms of detoxing, what you could do, there is a technique that we're showing Soma that, thank you, that you could, and we are aware that Dennis, we have observed Dennis doing some prayers or energy work before consuming food at the dinner table. So it would be good for you to start doing this, where you give gratitude and thanks for the food, but you also could say some kind of prayer to yourself, such as, this food is good for me. You can also run energy from your hands into the food to help to cleanse it. And of course, when you begin anything, you are never very good at it. And we are talking to the collective. Unless it is a natural gift that you are born with from a previous lifetime, such as, let us use a psychic awareness or art or something that you are born gifted at. That is because you have learned it in a previous lifetime. We would like to ask Dennis if he has anything to share about his prayers with food for you. We will close there for today. Dennis, can you not hear me? But
Hello, hello.
okay, welcome back, everyone. We were talking and sharing amongst ourselves there. And do you know, I would just like to give at least a moment's silence to David Wilcox with the current events that have happened. Recently, I think it was on Wednesday, in the Wednesday group, we were talking about David Wilcox, and we had arranged that Dia would do a dowsing with a crystal on it. And I found it very interesting. And I will be releasing that over the next couple of days. I find it interesting that there are other scientists that have a lot of other scientists that have gone missing or have died in mysterious circumstances. And from what I have gathered, they all know each other. They're all working for a certain organization, the same organization. And I'm kind of shocked. Not kind of, let me take out the word kind of. I am shocked about the recent events to do with David Wilcox. And I'm just being reminded that of some of what they said this evening about being grounded. And, you know, all we can do really is focus on ourselves and what's happening internally with us, and being grounded and not reacting to the outside world and what's happening out there, or in different places around the world. You know, all we can really do is focus on ourselves and making our world better and our environment, and looking after our family and our friends and our neighbors, our kind of local environment. That's, you know, and ourselves internally, and our energy and our diet and our food and our water. You know, that's all we can really do is bring it back to what's going on in our own worlds, and stop looking outside for saviors, and that includes the Pleiadians, because they're not here to save us. They can assist us, which they do, more than they probably admit a lot of the time. But and also we do create our own reality. So it's also important to focus on ourselves. Did we lose someone there? I heard the bell, the notification that someone had left.
Amira seems to have disappeared momentarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to read the messages in the chat. Let's have a look. Gia, I can't see your question. Am I missing some messages?
I removed it. I removed my question.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to share?
To harken back to the question about the airplanes, isn't the airplane environment supposed to be very unhealthy, and also like a more like intense electromagnetic field in the airplanes with everybody's Wi-Fi's and devices and things like that in the closed area? Isn't that
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was told once when I was flying that the whole thing, the whole experience is really unnatural, and and because I was getting tired, during the journey, and I had a message at the time, and I don't remember where I was flying to, but I was very in tune and somewhat ungrounded, and I was receiving a message from the Pleiadians, and I remember them saying that that type the type of flying the aircraft and the whole experience and planes is very it's very, it affects the body in quite a negative way, in a very different way than it does for example flying on a UFO craft. It's a different system. There's different energies going on. There's different technology going on, and the planes really affect the body in quite a negative way. So, Dia, you have your hand up as well.
Yeah. Amira, your mic is open.
Oh, my son just.
So I just wanted to ask the Pleiadians this, but you stopped the channeling. Because this keeps coming up for me. I noticed that it's like we've got 2 or 3 camps going on, and particularly with the David thing, we have those that say he did it, we have those that say someone else did it, and then we have those that say no, he's safe. And I just wonder if we're all looking at different timelines.
I have thought of that as well. That's come to me over the last couple of days. because there are people that are very sure, very sure that they are accurate in their perspective.
Yeah.
And
And I feel like, oh, I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. And
I
I I don't believe that he did that. And maybe he did, and it was part of targeting, but I don't believe that he did that naturally of his own accord due to his own mental health. And there's a lot of people that are saying that he did have mental health problems. And I'm even not so convinced. I think anyone in his position will undergo targeting on a huge scale because he had a huge following and was very well known. So I think there's a lot of people on the bandwagon that are saying he had mental health issues, and I find that questionable. Maybe he did, maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's possible that there is two different timelines going on.
and I'm wondering if we somehow converge, because you on the break you mentioned somebody who I refuse to even watch because that person often has a very negative outlook on so many things, very doom and gloom. And I've never seen any of the things that that person says come to fruition. So I'm like, why bother? And I don't want to give my energy to somebody who's talking about that kind of negativity. So um I was just wondering if, because that person is even comes across my radar at times, does that mean we're having convergence of some kind? It's just like I guess we're seeing through veils. But then again, I don't know, because even people very close to us can have a completely different viewpoint on it and see it differently. And I just keep wondering, are we looking at different timelines for some reason? I don't know. And I wanted to ask the Pleiadians if they could talk about that a little bit, if that is what's going on.
Maybe would you be able to ask that tomorrow evening, dear?
Hopefully. Yes. Yeah. And I just wanted to say that I find it interesting that what I had gotten the other day is what a lot of is very similar to what I'm hearing come across, like from other people that I follow. And just like somebody wrote in the comments here about the clone thing, and you had asked about that, and we got that there was a double, and that there's a group of off-worlders that assist people like David to take care of their situation and remove them and set it all up. And I just feel like some things make a lot of sense with if that group is indeed in charge of helping to take people off the scene. Because like Emily brought up, and we had touched on this in the Wednesday night, that there's all this, David Wilcock is all over the internet now, and you can't escape it. He's just everywhere. So divine timing, is it? Or is it orchestrated? Which I kind of see how that could possibly be, because he even said himself something big was going to be revealed. So is it? It's just interesting if you look at the 5D chess game, that removing him at this time would help bring out, it would help get people to look at a variety of things. They get to look at the UFO community. They get to look at the possibility of three-letter agencies taking people out. there's just so much that they can turn their attention to now.
Yeah, I think more people are becoming aware of that. I mean, you've just mentioned it, and Emily mentioned it earlier, and I've become aware of it kind of gradually over the last couple of days. Um, I don't think that those other scientists going missing or being taken out is a separate issue. I think it's very connected, very
I totally
connected.
agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think we asked that the other day. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but yeah.
What is a POV?
Point of view.
Okay.
Can I this is something that's come up with, of course, this topic. So my only worry is like after, a lot is going on now, but and in some ways a lot of people who've passed away in the last like who've passed away maybe a couple years ago or decades ago, it's getting brought up. Like for example, even JFK and Marilyn Monroe is getting brought up. I just worry though that like pretty soon people are going to forget. Like in the past, people forgot. I mean, I do see that it's getting more mainstream media attention than ever before, which is refreshing. But my concern is like it's just another tease. I mean, I think my gut says it's not and it's continuing to grow and grow and grow. But I don't know, it's just the skeptic in me that's just like there's like
I
yeah.
yeah. But so there's Lady Diana or Princess Diana, Lady Diana, there's Michael Jackson, there's Marilyn Monroe, there's JF Kennedy, there's been Prince, um there's so many people have been taken out. And when time has gone on, we've become aware that Princess Diana was taken out by the royal family, and that, or is she still alive? But that was something that has been, she was taken out by the royal family. There's also another stream of belief that she is still alive and that Michael Jackson is still alive. But look at the information that has come out about the royal family because of her death, and also with Michael Jackson. So because it's after her death, it really came out into the public awareness that she had said that the royal family, the Queen, was reptilian. That is something that people became aware of, because she'd said that to people. And so I'm wondering what type of information will come out because of David Wilcox's death. And there was also information about Michael Jackson, and there was information about Prince, and even Elvis Presley. I think there's a whole lot of information going on there, the behind the scenes. And of course, with Marilyn Monroe and JFK, I Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I actually had no idea that Princess Diana had apparently said those things about the Queen. Um, but yeah, I think like in order for this, all these changes that we all want to see happen, and for the shift in public awareness to disclosure, some of these things unfortunately do have to happen. And it's just another drop in the bucket that'll hopefully lead to this big change. And the drops are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that it's huge, what's just happened. And I think people are, I can't think of the word, it's not reveling, but reeling, reeling from it. And yeah. When um when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I did a channeling, and they said he was still alive and that he'd been taken out by the white hats because the black hats were planning to take him out, and the white hats got there first. And Kerry Cassidy, and that was a channeling. That wasn't me. But Kerry Cassidy was saying the same thing, and I haven't done a channeling on David Wilcox, and I don't feel like it's the right thing to do right now, today. And I also don't feel that I want to be doing any psychic medium stuff, because that just seems inappropriate. But Kerry Cassidy was saying the same thing at the time. And I, at the time, I felt very much like I was going against the grain, because everyone else was saying, it's horrendous. Was assassinated, and I was, there I was channeling that he's still alive, which was very much against the grain. And then I'm reminded again now of Lloyd. I think it was George Lloyd, where I was horrified to watch that video where he was murdered on camera by a police officer in America. I was just horrified. And then I never tuned into that at all. But at the time, a few days later, it became, a lot of people and myself became aware that that's not what happened at all. Or one timeline or one interpretation was that he didn't die, that the whole thing was staged. So, what like, who knows, really? Dia, you have your hand up. And Dennis, I really wish you would, speak.
Well, until he's ready, I'll just add that Derek Johnson, who's online, he's got a channel called Rattletrap 1776. I found him on Telegram. He apparently is on Facebook too. And he he gave a lot of information about the CK. I like to write ass in nation rather than saying it as one word.
What is CK?
Charlie, and then Kirk, just because of the algorithms.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So Derek Johnson was posting tons of stuff because he knows a lot about laws and orders. And he's got 2 books that he's published. I think they're called Midnight Rider. And he goes into detail about certain laws and orders and how and why they're being followed by Mr. T and the White Hats, and how they're doing everything legally. And whenever Derek posts, he uses emojis afterwards. If he uses the little face that's saluting and then the black spade, that means it was a special operation. And he said that about the CK event. And he provided tons of information as to how it was staged. And one thing I found quite curious at the time was, why are we able to see all of these gory videos of him being shot online? How come these are not being scrubbed off the internet? That was the first thing. And the second thing is you have all these people that were there, but yet only 2 videos were circulating. That struck me as odd. And then Derek went on to point out that AI will scrub real blood scenes from the internet. And he gave proof by putting up a picture where he shaved his chin and he had a little cut and it was bleeding. And sure enough, well, I mean, yes, he could have retouched it, but he was making a point that the AI would blur that image. Like, you can't see a picture of a surgery online, they'll blur it. So he even asked AI, does this look like real blood? Like this scene really happened? And AI came back and said, no, it looks like it was staged. Well, I don't know what term they used, but they said it looked like it wasn't a real situation. So I found all of that really interesting, along with just other things about that, like why were those images allowed to be on the internet and why were there only 2 videos circulating?
Yeah, and why did they dismantle the arena so quickly?
Oh, yeah. And then you had
Instead of it
some
being
off-camera.
instead of it being designated a crime scene.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you had some videos leaking out where you see these people dismantling the cameras and sneaking down a trap door. It's like too much weirdness.
I never saw the trap door, but apparently the camera was a holographic camera.
Right, that
Not a
too.
video recording camera.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing was just so obviously theatrical to me. To, you know, to provoke again trauma for the public.
Yeah. But is it also to, if the White Hats had to take him out, I mean, do they weigh the options that we're going to cause this trauma? Yes, it's going to create loosh, but it's also going to help wake people up. Apparently
That's what I was saying earlier, is that I think they use the trauma to access a different part of people's minds so that, yes, they can be more receptive to the information that follows.
That makes sense to me.
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah, based on what Kathy O'Brien has been telling us about the MK Ultra programs, it seems to me that would be logical.
yes. Dear, you're on mute. So
I just want to say something, Dia, about Derek Johnson, and his specialty is the military law, like the law of war manual and the military, army, whatever army manuals that he refers to, and also the executive orders. The executive orders were never supposed to be part of the American government. Because keep in mind that all these executive orders are being made on behalf of the British corporation right now. So, which doesn't reflect the interests of the nation, but Mr. T is being guided by the Pleiadians, right? So a lot of his maneuvers are done can we say, in the minds of the people, right? They have to do these things to set up a scenario that the people can accept it as true.
And completely off subject, I'm sorry, but I saw a video today where the UK is going to start facial recognition. So that's something I saw today, which is completely off subject, but that's something that's coming into the UK, is the facial recognition. Of course, there are ways around it.
Always carry an umbrella.
Yes, I saw, that was another post I saw recently of, I think it was Chinese.
Hong Kong, yeah, Hong Kong.
Yes, thanks, Emily. Where there was thousands of people and they all had umbrellas. Of course, there's other ways, and means, all kinds of things. Yeah. But the people are rising up, so they cannot stop what's coming. So for tomorrow, for this evening, I had planned to do a short channeling, kind of come in and get out, but it hasn't worked out like that. And I think for me in the future going forward, I've said what I have to say about David Wilcox. And I don't I don't want to drag it out. I've said what I had to say, and I've given my perspective. And either wherever he is, my heart goes out to the man. It really does, and his family, wherever he is. Whether he's alive, whether he's dead. And I don't want to talk really any more about it. Of course, I will put out the previous video that we did on Wednesday about him over the next week or so. I'm a little bit behind in uploading to the internet and Substack. The other thing I wanted to say is this evening I had planned to come in and do short channeling and then get out. And I do that sometimes in order to maintain my energy and maintain my energy and my abilities and energy. But it's turned into a longer session. So I think tomorrow I will keep it short. And so if you have questions, I know that Dia had a question earlier, which I've completely forgotten. But if you have questions, for those of you in the group now, if you have questions, but please ask them tomorrow. And because I will just do a short channeling tomorrow. So I think that's it for today. Dennis, please will you lead us out with some prayers? I know you've really kind of not wanted to say very much this evening, which is okay. I think in the future we will have more truth about what has occurred. And I don't even really want to do a channeling regarding David Wilcox. In the future, well, that's how I feel now, right now. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I want to. I just feel like I want to step back and yeah. So Dennis, please will you lead us out with some prayers? That's a good idea, Jordan. I did some grounding today with my bare feet on the soil, and we had some recently in Ireland. We had some really bad wind, and it destroyed one of the greenhouses that we have, or I have, the plastic ones, and destroyed it. So everything was just all the earth and plants was on the ground. So I really got used that as an opportunity to have bare feet on the ground and went and sorted that out today. It's really important, especially as starseeds, that we ground. Thanks, dear. Yeah, I feel like I just want to pull back from that. Yeah, I feel that he just needs some silent recognition rather than everyone jumping on the bandwagon and giving their opinion. Including myself. But I have said what I thought, and I know that people have different opinions. Yeah, I don't like all the drama and the chaos. Yeah. So thank you, everyone, and please come like, share, subscribe, and join to my Substack. It is free, or you can join for the paid tiers, which starts at $7.77 for the month. And also, if you're here or if you're listening in the future and you've had a previous reading with me, I now have a new service which I am limiting very strictly with myself. I'm going to limit that to 30 people, where you can come and sign up for a monthly subscription and have half an hour once a month for €33, which is a really good deal. So it's more of a continuous monthly half an hour. And yeah, so that's available on my website, somaara.love. And that's only available for people who've had an initial reading, a full reading for an hour. So what else do I need to say? I think that's it. I'm going to go and cook some nice food, and I'm going to go outside again and put my feet on the ground, on the earth. Dennis, please lead us out with some prayers, darling. Dennis, are you there? Dennis Mulcahy, are you there?
Okay, well, I'm going to say thank you and goodbye. And I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
Thank
Okay,
you, Emily. I'll see you
thank you.
tomorrow, darling.
All right.
Enjoy
Bye,
the rest.
ladies.
Bye, Emily. Enjoy
Bye.
the rest of the night and everything. And everything that Emily and Dia said is absolutely true, and it makes sense. So, anyways, guys, have a good evening. I'll see you tomorrow. And Soma, I get my schedule on Wednesday, so I'm gonna get the schedule on Wednesday. Then I'm gonna see I'm gonna look when I have a day off, and I'm gonna book a reading for like mid-May. So I'm gonna look and go to your website Wednesday and pick the services I want, because then I'll know what days are good for me. Okay.
Okay, darling. And if you're able, I have a new system now where people are able to book in online and pay online, which is really great. So if you have
Yeah,
a look at that, you can pay and book in yourself.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm just waiting for my huge tax return, and well, I'm going to be pretty well off. That the tax return is just a start. But I'll probably book a few services.
Okay,
And then
darling,
every month over and then every month I will have book a half hour reading too from you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, I hope I'm one of the 30s of 30s.
I'm sure you will be, Amira.
All right.
Okay,
Okay. Love and light.
yes, my love to everyone, and see you all soon.